Hello everybody, how are you? And a huge welcome to episode 16 of Domain TV. And so if you are new and you've newly found us and followed us, then I just wanted to say a huge welcome. It is such an exciting time for you to discover everything that we're doing at Sarah Morgan Global when it comes to the wondrous domain and domain energetics. So make no mistake, if you have stumbled across me very recently, it's not by chance. And actually what you have stumbled across is, well, I don't want to say stumble because it's not an actual stumble, it's not by chance, but if you come across us, it's a very exciting moment and time and opportunity for you, because you yourself can start to explore domain, which is this wondrous energy holding that's located beyond our multiverses, that as you work with it energetically, as you tune to it, you can just be awestruck at the utter wondrous insight it can share with you, the things that it can do, drawing sequencing from other parts of our multiverses to help us here on Earth. So think about that, new potential, new possibilities, new opportunities. It's such an exciting time. And as we always say, domain is for all. It's not just for myself or a select few. Domain is for all. That's why I've written our book, Our World, What Comes Next, which I know is coming up back to front on Facebook. They've changed their settings again and I can't see how to flip the camera anymore. It's very strange. But anyway, that's the book and I'll post the link below. So that's why I've written the book, to help as many people as possible to begin their own journeys with domain. And so a huge welcome, like I say, if you're new. And these Domain TV episodes are really relaxed. I think you'll find that everything we do is very relaxed. It's very inspiring, but there's a real kind of grounded energy to it. It's not that you have to be kind of really spiritually kind of tuned and connected and kind of not firmly on the ground. Domain is so much about being physical on our earth, because we're having this physical experience on our earth, but whilst doing so, being able to access energetically all of the wonder that's out there for us to explore, because we're part of a multiverse for a reason. We're not just here by chance on planet Earth with no connection to anything else. We are interconnected to everything. And although some of us may consciously know that at some level, to actually really feel that and feel an intrinsic part of all that is through everything that you can uncover with domain is just such an amazing feeling. It's such an advanced, special, extraordinary way to live. So settle in, we're really relaxed here. That's why you'll often see me rocking up in hoodies or out and about walking the dog, because this is about like realness, truth, down to earthness. This is about domain being very usable and accessible to all, and it's beautiful. It really, really is. And so you can literally use domain for anything and everything. So if you've newly followed us, the best place to start, I would say, is this book, which you can get on Amazon worldwide. I've got links to it on my website, sarahmorganglobal.com. It comes in a colour edition, which personally for me is my favourite edition, because there's just so much kind of vibrancy through it. But it does come in a lower cost black and white edition, and it also comes in a Kindle edition. But this is the perfect place to start, because it gives you like an all-rounder, because there's so many different aspects and facets to domain. And what this will do is this will take you through so many different aspects and facets of it. And then once you've read the book, you can choose which ones you want to hone in on. You can choose whether you want to use domain for yourself personally, or for the community, or for the wider environment and planet. You get to choose. Domain is all about choice. It's all about freedom. That's why it is accessible to all who want to develop and explore their energetic and non-physical sides. But this book will give you a really wonderful overview and starting point to start from, and then you can continue whatever way you want to. And so if you want to really sort of delve more deeply and bring that book to life, I also offer beautiful one-to-ones as well, where you can get to work with me for 6 weeks in a one-to-one way to really bring the book to life and focus in on the aspects and elements that really excite you. So it is a wonderful time for you to come across us if you are new. And so we're building a gorgeous domain family and community here around the world. You know, it's such a wonderful thing. It's such an honor to be able to share something that's new with the world. It's an experience that I really treasure, because for us, it's not about kind of running at a million miles an hour and kind of being on the front page of magazines and all that kind of stuff. It's just about sharing the message and the wonder and excitement with those that are ready and wanting. And who knows, maybe in 10 years time or whatever, it will become way more mainstream in that way. But it's for those of us that are very open-minded, that know that we can do much more with our energy than actually we've understood so far. And who know and have always felt that truth is so much more out there, but it's just kind of understanding what that is. And so Domain starts to open that up for us. And so you can really just take your time with this as well. So with Domain, please don't ever feel a sense of overwhelm, because there are so many things that it can do. Think of Domain now as like your steady companion for life. You can use it as much as you want to. There's no limits with it. Domain is yours for life. It's ours for life. And in that we can explore and discover together. And that's why we're building this beautiful community over time. And so thank you from the bottom of our hearts, as we always say, for being here and believing, for seeing some of the content that we're putting out, because obviously we're wanting to share it, and actually for believing in it and being like, yeah, I feel the truth of this. I'm not going to go up into my head and question. I feel energetically the truth of this. I know this is going to show me things that most humans don't know about yet. And I'm down with that, and I'm really excited for that. So thank you for being a part of this really special community in these really early, beautiful, wondrous days. So take your time with Domain. The book's the perfect place to start. And enjoy. You've got it always now, and that's a really beautiful thing. So don't ever feel a sense of you have to understand and learn it all in one go, because it's never going to run out. There'll always be more. So feel really happy and excited by that. You're never going to get bored of Domain. Okay. So what do we want to share with you this week? So when we do these Domain TV episodes, we're often sharing latest experiences with Domain or discoveries through Domain that have either come through myself or others within the Domain community. And there's been a really couple of beautiful things that have been opening up for myself this week. And actually, I haven't sat down specifically really that often this week and connected to Domain. But what's happening is, as I'm creating more kind of video content, like these short reels to go out, is Domain starting to open up new doors of or avenues of discovery. And so there's a video that I created yesterday, which will probably be shared at some point next week. It's just a short reel talking about the magic of birds. And actually there's a chapter in this book talking about the magic of birds. In fact, I'll tell you which one it is. Birds, chapter 27. Like, it talks about never going a day without noticing and appreciating and acknowledging the wonder of birds. And so I was recording this video last night, and Domain was flowing to me that there are birds in other parts of our multiverses. And so this is really wondrous to understand. So for those of you that have been working with Domain so far, those of you that are new and just starting out with it, you're going to start being shown things from Domain that prove that there's other life out there. And that's a really beautiful thing. And because you're going to see it for yourself or know it for yourself, depending on how you're translating Domain and how you translate its energy, because we all translate it differently in terms of some of us see in our mind's eye, some of us feel, some of us know, some of us hear in our mind's ear. When you witness it for yourself, you're going to kind of have those eye-popping moments where you are like, whoa, I've seen that. I can't unsee that. I've seen that now. Domain shared that with me in such a loving way because my energy was ready. You're going to start to really get this tangibleness to what you're understanding that goes way beyond just theories, okay? Because you're going to see it for yourself. And that's the thing. I'll never talk about anything on Domain TV or with any of you guys or clients or anything that I haven't experienced firsthand myself, because I want to share real experiences with you. And I would not be sat here talking about the things that I'm talking about if I had not seen them myself through Domain. And I spent many years practicing my non-physical receiving. For you guys, it can be really quick now because of the book and through working with me and that type of thing. But I've spent many years practicing to get to a place where I'm trusting what I'm getting and I know I'm not making it up, okay? So when you start seeing these things, you're going to have that tangible evidence that there's life out there. And that's really exciting and beautiful. And there's so much misconception, I think, around this, which comes from like a fear place rather than a loving place, which is like, if there's other life out there, would it be hostile, etc., etc., would it be scary? And it's not. It's beautiful. We're part of a perfectly designed multiverse. We're not the only multiverse. And so it would be, I think, very understandable if you think about the vastness of what we're a part of. Again and again, you'll start to see and feel this as you work with Domain, that goes beyond what, you know, say those that are studying the universes and our planets and can't understand even so far themselves. It's so vast that when you start to see this for yourself and understand this, it's actually not surprising. So you'll be shown these things from Domain as and when you're ready as well. It's not going to show you something that's going to totally bamboozle you or overwhelm you. It's going to show you something that's beautiful. But there is absolutely life out there beyond our universe, the Earth universe, okay? Hi, Rita, darling. So to understand this is really beautiful. So I've been shown like a moss type or algae type substance on another planet. Again, it's green, it's living, it's there. And I talk about this in the book. This is one of my first really strong experiences with Domain, where I was connecting to Domain to get sequencing for bruising on my shin, because it was late at night. I couldn't access any arnica cream or anything like that. I wasn't going to drive anywhere. So I just connected to Domain and it showed me this algae on another planet. I have also seen water on other planets as well. And again, as you start to work with Domain and you see these things for yourself, there's nothing like seeing for yourself. Because I posted a video yesterday and someone on TikTok commented, because I was talking about there is other life out there. And they commented and said, okay, when you can prove it, let me know, I'm waiting. And my reply was, but why wait for me? You can see this yourself. If you tune to Domain and connect to Domain, you're going to see these types of things yourself. And when you see them yourself, that's when you believe. That's when you have that tangible evidence that you can't deny. And so I love helping people to receive, because I think my journey with receiving was quite a long one, where I was always questioning, and I share so many tips, especially when I'm working with clients directly, so many tips to help you receive. But if you are seeing something and you didn't expect it, but you're kind of having that eye-popping moment, or your heart beats a bit faster, or you could even be moved to tears of love, you're seeing something that's true, even if it's way beyond what you ever sort of consciously were aware of before, okay? And so it's really beautiful when you're seeing these things that you're, you know, yourself. I'll always share my experiences because I want to share Domain and I want to share what's possible and what it can show you. But when you see it yourself, that's when you get that real flow back of love, those incredible like highs of vibration, where you're like, I've just seen something with my own mind's eye, or I've heard it with my own mind's ear, or I've understood it and known it with my own energy. Like, no one can take that away from you. So I've seen water on other planets. Again, that was one of my very early interaction with Domain. There's loads of water out there. So think not just about, you know, people saying traces of water on the moon and that type of thing. There's loads of water out there. And again, some people are talking about this, but when you see it with your own eyes, it's phenomenal. It's beautiful. So I've seen water on another planet that has energy sequencing within it, so properties within it that are different to what's available on our Earth currently, but they've got these properties within it, this water on this other planet, that makes it see the light, okay? Seek the light. So what happens is this water moves to the surface. And so I've also been shown from Domain, and this is where it can show you wondrous insight about our earth as well, how there's vast chambers of water under our earth as well, under Africa in particular. And so if we can take the properties and sequencing energetically from Domain and via Domain that we've been shown from this other water and apply it to the water under Africa and get it to start seeking the light, we can get it closer to the surface so that people can access it. And so Domain will also show you wondrous insight about our earth. But it doesn't always have to be from this present time either. There's kind of three main flows with Domain that I'm understanding more and more, which is multiversal, unearthing earth secrets, but also points in history. So I've had flows from ancient Egypt. Rita's one of our Domain leaders who also does a lot of stuff with Egypt herself, so check her out. It's fascinating what she receives. And so you can get insight flows and sequencing from the past as well. And so when you're connecting to Domain, you're having these incredible flows of insight that are filling you up with so much delight and exhilaration, but you're also taking that sequencing energetically to help you in the now, to bring new possibilities to the now. So whether it's new possibilities that are only accessible via Domain from other parts of our multiverse, or new possibilities that again are only accessible via Domain on our earth, or even connected to points in history as well. And over time, as we're connecting to do more things multiversally, this is what I'm being told now, we will also be shown things historically multiversally as well. And again, this is why we say Domain's a journey, and about starting your beautiful journey with it and a lifetime in beautiful partnership with it, because there's always more it's going to show you. So bring me back around to how I started on this subject. When I was doing a live about birds yesterday, I was being shown and told from Domain that there are birds in other parts of our multiverses. Now, I haven't taken that any further yet, as I was recording that, and I'll be sharing that next week. I was definitely sort of told more to come around this at the right time. But we're sort of progressing now from understanding that there's water and, say, plant life on other planets to understanding that actually there's wildlife. How beautiful is that, okay? And that wildlife might have some similarities to the wildlife that we have here on our earth, or it might not. It could be completely different. And so what I'll do is, as I continue to get more flows of insight like this, I'll let you guys know. But also you can start to get flows of insight as well as you work with Domain. And that's why we say, let's all use Domain together. Let's all explore together, because there's no way one person can receive everything in one lifetime, because it's endless anyway. So it's really beautiful what Domain can open up for you, but just having that kind of much wider peripheral energetic awareness opens up your life. It's like there's no horizons, there's no kind of glass ceiling or feeling inhibited anymore. You're understanding what you are a part of. And I'm being kind of guided to share as well. I remember as a child thinking that there was so much more out there. I've always felt that truth, and many of you are going to be the same. You've always felt that, knowing that there's more out there. And what happens is, as you expand your energetic and non-physical side, you start to see it and witness it and experience it for yourself, okay? And so this is what is wonderful and will add so much to your life, knowing that there's so many more new solutions, possibilities and opportunities out there. There's so much for us to explore. It's not just about a select few exploring. Everyone's able to do this. It's just about training and developing your energy to do it, which is the perfect place to start, is through this book or working with me. Like, both of those ways will really help you. Also, something we wanted to share this week, which is new for those of you that don't know, we've now got a free Domain connection practice on my website. So when you sign up for our newsletter, which we don't kind of bombard with loads of newsletters, just by the way, we send one out sort of every 2 or 3 weeks, and we just send them out when we've got some beautiful things to share. So you're never going to be bombarded. But when you sign up, you'll be given access to a free domain first connection practice. And again, for those of you that are new and newly discovering domain, that's such a beautiful place to start, because if you're seeing me online talking about how you can connect to the multiverses or find out things about Earth or about our history, and you go and order the book, that's really exciting. But even if you order it through Amazon, you've got to wait a day or two. With this practice, you can go straight to it and have your first connection with domain as well. So feel free to share that with friends and loved ones. Like, they can literally just go and experience their first practice to domain without even having to wait for the book. So that's now available on my website, and you'll see under the menu there is a menu option called free practice. So that's available for everyone as well. Even if you've been working with domain for a bit, you're very welcome to go and check that out. Obviously, if you have been working with domain for a while, you'll know very well how to connect to domain. But if you want to check it out, of course, you're very, very welcome to. Okay. And so that's been really beautiful this week, understanding, okay, there's bird life in other parts of our multiverses. I can't wait for domain to show me more about that. It's almost like being like... And we can all do this. It's not just about me. Almost like being like a David Attenborough of the multiverses, because we're going to keep being shown things. And how beautiful is that? David Attenborough is incredible. I've always had so much love for him. But imagine that, being a David Attenborough of our multiverses. But we can all do this. It's not just about one person doing it. Anyone that's excited and passionate and curious can do this as well. So that's that. But the other thing we also wanted to share was what's become evident this week as well, and we'll be doing an interview about this actually, is how domain and those that love to travel and explore can really beautifully come together as well. And so there's an incredible group, again, run by one of our precious domain leaders, Samantha Hemming, which is for highly sensitive travellers. Okay, so people that love to travel and adventure but feel that they're highly sensitive people. Okay, and what we've already understood is, and this is why I'll be doing an interview in her group. Again, I've already posted that on this page. So you'll find the link to her group. I'll probably put it under this video at the end, and I'll pop it in a newsletter because I'll probably send one out next week. But what we've understood is that actually, if you're highly sensitive, it actually means you're very energetically aware, even if you consciously realise that or not, you actually are. And so what that means is you're going to be able to really easily connect to domain because you're energetically really tuned already. And this is the thing, I always felt like I was highly sensitive, you know, and in a way that maybe others weren't. I kind of, I don't know, somehow understood things in a slightly different way. And that's because my energy was very kind of ready to kind of work with other energy. So if you are someone that loves to travel and you feel like you're highly sensitive as well, then it's because your energy can naturally really work with domain really beautifully. And so I'm not going to give away everything that we're going to talk about in that interview. Come and join Sam's amazing group. I'll put the link below, and you'll be able to watch that video when we do it. We're going to be doing it on the 5th of February at midday UK time, but the replay will be available. But if you think about how domain helps us feel really connected to Earth, discover new things about our Earth. Imagine traveling and getting new insight flows from domain about where you are traveling. That could be from the past, could be about that particular area at that time that people don't know. Imagine, because I used to love traveling, imagine if you were traveling around Africa and you were spending time with the community, being able to work with domain to flow sequencing to help that community. You know, there's so many beautiful things that domain can do and that you can do with domain to enhance your traveling experiences and to also give you inspiration to places you may want to travel in the future. So I am going to stop here because already loads of things are coming through that we can talk about in the interview. But again, it just gives you that real kind of usability with domain. You know, some of you are going to be really excited by the multiversal stuff. Some of you are going to be really excited by the Earth stuff. Some of you are going to be really excited by the ancient civilization stuff. Some of you are going to want to use domain just for you in your day-to-day. Some of you are going to want to use it for wider environmental things or even beyond and multiversal. Okay, what we're opening up here is just incredible endless avenues of new exploration and new possibility wherever you yourself want to take domain, but it's still got that very day-to-day usability side to it as well. And that is what's really magical. And I use it in all ways, day to day and beyond, and more environmental and beyond, and multiversally as well. And that's amazing because, again, there's no limit, there's no restriction there. Okay. So we're really looking forward to that. And another area that I'm going to be starting to explore domain with, which I am being guided to share, even though this is quite new, is kind of journey of motherhood and pregnancy and that type of thing. So that's something that's new. I'm not pregnant, just FYI yet, but that's something that's new and may well be shared when the time's right as well. And so on these domain TV episodes, talking about experiences and what we sort of got going on as well, I'll always be very open. All I want to do is share my experiences, because through sharing, more and more people understand what's possible, and also understand it's possible for them as well. It's not just about domain being accessible to superior beings. It's not about that. Domain is accessible to all. It's just those of us that want to explore it and work with our energy to do so. So that's going to be really interesting as well. So, and then the other thing I wanted to just say, just in terms of a bit of an update, there's an interview coming out that I've done with a lady, I think she's called Lisa Campbell, and she has a YouTube channel called 52 Authors in 52 Weeks. So I've got an interview that I did with her last week that's coming out on there tomorrow, which will be Saturday the 25th of January. You're really welcome to have a look at that as well if you want to learn a little bit more about the book. Once it's out, I will share it here so everyone can see it here as well, because again, it's lovely on this Facebook page, and these videos are shared across my YouTube channel. It's lovely to have on this Facebook page short reels, but it's lovely to have these longer pieces of content as well, where you can sit down with a coffee, snuggle down, get comfortable, and continue to learn about and drink up all of the yumminess around domain. And so really, we just want to bring this episode of Domain TV to a close today by just saying, feel really freaking inspired. I could swear I'm that passionate, but feel very, very inspired. You know, I love domain as my go-to. I just love it. I love when I'm recording videos for you guys out walking Bell, where I'm just flowing massively in domain energetics, getting these incredible new insights. Bird life in other parts of the multiverses. I have no idea where that's going to go, and I'm just going to enjoy the drip feeding as domain continues to share more and more with me. And that's how all of you can experience domain if you choose to as well. Just enjoying those gentle, continual drip feedings and flows that it shares with you, that each day you're like, oh my goodness. You know, I'm sat down with my partner last night watching The Traitors on the TV, which I love. But I've experienced that day for myself, knowing that there's bird life in other parts of our multiverses. It's like, it's so flipping magical. So this is really what we mean by enlightened living and new possibilities and discovering the beauty. This is what domain's all about, and this is why we just love talking about it. So any questions, let us know. We love you so much. If you're new and you want to share how you got on with the domain connection practice, feel free to comment under here or inbox me. If you have any questions, I also offer free exploration calls. Again, they're really relaxed. They're nothing to be nervous of. It's just a chat. You can ask me questions. You may be thinking about maybe doing a beautiful one-to-one or coming to the domain event in August. Those calls are there, they're free, just to help you, and also just so we can get to know each other. I've always been one that just loves to know people in the community online, you know, because this is a global online community, and just getting to know people from around the world and just building those connections. It's really, really beautiful. So we love you so much. This brings today's or this week's episode of Domain TV to a beautiful close, but we'll be live again next Friday as always. We love you so much. We're here at any point, so do just reach out. Have a beautiful week. Keep delighting in domain. Thank you for being here, and just sending you all huge, huge hugs. See you again, same time, same place next week. Mwah. We love you.